In this video, I'm going to talk about an easy way that you can use EFT to get relief from the symptoms of a cold or flu and to recover from your illness faster. My name is Stefan Gonek. I'm an expert EFT practitioner and trainer from EFTalive.com. Now, EFT can be a wonderful tool to get over symptoms from a cold or flu or any other kind of illness that's like that, and to recover from the illness faster. And it's pretty straightforward. It's just one little tricky part, which is what I'll spend most of our time talking about. So the first thing you do is write down a list of all your symptoms that you're experiencing with your cold or your flu. And there may be a few things, maybe several things. You want to write them all down and rate them all on a scale of 0 to 10 in their intensity, right? Where 10 is the max and 0 is not at all. And then you also want to get in touch with any feelings or emotions you're having about the cold or flu. So for instance, you might be like really angry. I hate having a cold or flu, and it pisses me off, right? Or you might be kind of frustrated. It's like, oh God, again, I hate, so many times I get this. Or you might just feel it's kind of like, oh, bum. It's like, oh God, I have a cold or flu again, So whatever the emotion is, if you have one, you may not have one, take note of that as well. Okay, now this is where the little tricky part is, because what's going to happen is we're going to be tapping on the symptoms and as well as the emotion, if there is one, to get relief. But here's the tricky part. The tricky part is that when you're tapping on a symptom, you want to tap on your detailed experience of the symptom, not just a simple kind of general conceptual description of the symptom. So let me give you an example. Let's say one of your symptoms is that you have a cough. So you might think, well, even though I have this cough, but the word cough is kind of more of a conceptual description more than an experiential one. So if you go underneath your symptom of having a cough, what you'll notice is that maybe you have this, this sort of scratchy or tickly feeling in your throat, which is what's making you cough. Or maybe you have this kind of junk in your throat, this sort of congestive junk that you're kind of clearing out with your coughing, right? So whatever you're actually experiencing underneath the cough, which is what's causing the cough, that's the true symptom that you're going to be tapping on. Now, another example is more about, not that it's going to be kind of like underneath the symptom, but more a very detailed description of your experience of the symptom, exactly as you can possibly do it. So, for instance, let's say you have a headache. So you wouldn't just say, even though I have a headache, because that's too vague in general. But you have pain in your head. So the first thing you want to do is, where in my head do I feel that pain? Do I feel it on this side of the head, top of the head, my forehead, both sides, a band circling my head, whatever your exact experience is. And then what about the pain itself? Is it a dull pain, a sharp pain, a throbbing pain, some combination of those, a burning pain, whatever it might be. So you want to get really specific and detailed about your experience of the pain. And let's say also one of your symptoms is you're feeling really tired in this sort of heavy, pulling your body down kind of experience. So that would be the symptom. And maybe you have others too, sneezing, whatever it is. So when you're getting ready for the tapping, you don't want to try and address all your symptoms at once. It's too much, to kind of dilute things. So you want to start with your top 3 symptoms. You'll come back and finish the other symptoms a little bit later. So let's say my top 3 symptoms are the ones I mentioned, right? The headache, the itchy, scratchy, tickle feeling in my throat, and the heavy tiredness. And let's say my emotion is I'm frustrated. It's like, oh God, again, frustrated. So you start tapping your cry-chow point, and you say, even though, and let's say my headache is sort of a dull, throbbing pain in my forehead. So that's where my headache symptoms are. So even though I have this, dull, throbbing pain in my forehead, and I have this scratchy, tickly feeling in my throat, and I have this heavy, pulling, heavy, tired, pulling down my body feeling, and I'm frustrated that I have a cold yet again, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. So then you repeat all that 2 more times for a total of 3 while tapping your cry-chow point. And then you'll start tapping the symptoms. And now you don't want to say them all at each point because you'd be spending way too long at each point. So what I would do is just name one symptom or emotion at each point. So in my case would be this dull, throbbing pain in my forehead. And the next point would be this, this itchy, tickle feeling in my throat. And then this heavy, pulling down my body tiredness, right? And then I feel frustrated to have a cold again. This dull, throbbing pain in my forehead, this itchy tickle in my throat, this heavy tiredness pulling down my body, and frustrated that I have a cold again. And you just keep doing that, going round after round of tapping on these symptoms and the emotion. And what you'll notice is that the intensity of each symptom will start coming down. So let's say, for instance, my headache was at an 8 to start with, out of 10. And after about 3 rounds of tapping, the headache is down to a 5 out of 10 instead of an 8. So it's come down 3 points, which would be a pretty typical result, actually. So it's getting better. I still have a headache, but it's less. It's lower. And I would just keep doing round and round of tapping, maybe 6, 7, 8 rounds of tapping, and get these symptoms down as low as I can. Some of the symptoms will clear completely. Often your headache completely go away. That itchy, scratchy, tickly feeling in your throat can completely go away. Maybe the tiredness comes down by, half or 2/3 or something like that. Maybe it doesn't quite fully go away, but it's a lot less, right? So you just kind of keep doing this until you get down as low as you can, either to 0 or you can tell it doesn't seem to be going down anymore. And then you go back and finish your remaining symptoms, right? Maybe I had 1, 2, or 3 left, and then I'll go ahead and do those as well. And the whole thing might take you, like 15 minutes or so. So, and then you'll have a great day. Pretty cool, right? So it's a neat process, and you'll get through it pretty quickly. Now, what you may experience as the days continue is that the symptoms will start coming back, right? So maybe they might come back the next day, they may come back in 2 days, maybe, something like that. And when that happens, you want to go through the process again. Again, it only takes maybe 15 minutes, and you have a great day. And that's really good, but that's not all that will happen. If you keep doing this over the days, what you'll find is that you will recover from your illness significantly faster than you normally do. So let's say it takes you typically 10 days to get over a cold. And if you do this process I've been describing, you might find that it only takes you 7 days to get over the cold, or 6 days to get over the cold, or flu, or whatever it is. Right? So this can will help you with any kind of illness of that sort. So it's pretty cool, right? Not hard to do. The only tricky part is that experiential description of each symptom and all that. But assuming you do that, you'll get really good results. So anyway, I hope you found that video helpful. If you did, it would really help me and other people to find the video if you would take a second to like the video. I also invite you to subscribe to my channel and get my latest and greatest EFT videos. And I invite you to come to my website at EFTalive.com and get my free ebook, Change Your Beliefs, Change Your Life, with using the magic of EFT, because our negative limiting beliefs can really hold us back in our life and cause us a lot of problems. And if we can release those and change them into positive beliefs, it can really have a very powerful impact on our lives. So keep tapping to enhance your life, and I'll see you on the next call.